Adata's upcoming PCIe 4.0 SSD boasts read speeds of over 7,000 megabytes per second and write speeds exceeding 6,000 megabytes per second. In brief, PCIe 4.0 SSDs have been making waves in the PC hardware industry over the past few months. We saw several of these speedy drives get announced by hardware makers in 2019, and Adata is joining their ranks now. At CES this year, the company announced the XPG Sage, a blazingly fast SSD set to launch later this year. Most of the other PCIe 4.0 compatible SSDs that have been announced recently promise read speeds of around 5,000 megabytes per second and write speeds closer to the 4,400 megabytes per second mark. The XPG Sage, however, is kicking things up a notch. Adata says the NVMe M.2 drive will reach sequential read and write speeds of over 7,000 and 6,000 megabytes per second, respectively, upon launch. Adata also aims to impress with the XPG Sage's read and write IOPS, which allegedly come in at 1,800,000. The Sage will ship with a maximum capacity of 4 terabytes, which is pretty standard for modern SSDs. During live testing, the Sage's sequential write speeds came closer to the 5,300 megabytes per second mark, but Adata has plenty of time to speed things up before the drives launch later this year. Image credit, Tech Power Up. Lower than promised write speeds notwithstanding, those figures are pretty great, as long as they prove accurate in real-world scenarios. They aren't entirely unprecedented. Gigabyte claims to have a PCIe 4 SSD in the works with read speeds of 15,000 megabytes per second, but they are noticeably higher than what we've seen from most other consumer storage drives. Indeed, out of the 3 different PCIe Gen 4 SSDs we tested in September of last year, none managed to exceed the 5,000 megabytes per second read or write speed mark. At CES, the XPG Sage was nothing special from a design perspective. However, Adata is reportedly planning to give the unit its own unique, gaming-oriented heat spreader before launch. The XPG Sage's pricing and specific release day are still unknown at the moment, but those details will probably be revealed closer to the middle of the year. Masthead credit, Shutterstock. For more on this story, visit the news article link.